Sorry about that, everybody. Good morning and good Saturday morning, everybody. As always, I am Dan Tartaglione, also known as D Tartag1 on pretty much everything. Uh, it's a name that I've been keeping to myself for all the years and everything. So you might be wondering, well, why are you on so early, Dan? It's not Wednesday. Well, you know what? It's an exciting day. Today is going to be day one of the 2021 MPC. I am excited to see what is going to go on. This morning we have two rounds for you. We have the round of 64 and the round of 32. We're going to be doing this. It's going to be a pretty exciting day. We have two rounds, or two sets of matches from the round of 64. And then we have two matches of the rounds of 32. So in the morning, we're gonna have myself on the stream on this main channel. Lenny Rubin is going to be streaming off of his own channel. And if you're really interesting, what's really going to be fun today is Kendall Hallman is going to be streaming and doing commentary on his own match. So him and James Martin agreed to Kendall doing some commentary on his own match. James being solid snack. So, uh, but on this channel, I'm going to be streaming the uh, Pat Johnson versus. Actually, I don't have the bracket up on me, but I'm going to be streaming the Pat Johnson versus, I believe it's Jeremy. Yes, Jeremy Jensen. And then on Lenny's channel, again, his is LS Rubin on Twitch. He is going to be streaming, I believe. I think he said he was going to be doing the Sam Tashima versus Paul McPherson match. So that is a 8 and 9 match. I'm going to be streaming a 6 and 11 match, and Kendall and James are a 7 and 10 match. So right now, let's go into the lobby and check out. You can see that we have all the information that you're going to need this morning is on the scroll on the bottom. It has start times. It has the seeds and everything that you're going to see in the first two the round of 64, as well as the round of 32. So, for example, if you want to watch Joe Olson, you can just check out this right here. I'm going to be updating the multi Twitch on it as well, and the link to the bracket's also on here too. So if you want to go ahead and check out the bracket as the tournament committee updates it, everything's right on the scroll down here. So waiting for Pat and Jeremy to start up their game. Pat is the higher seed, so he will be deciding what to play first. And off we go. It doesn't look like we've had any of our games start. A few of the players are in the chat. I see Paul McPherson in there. I see Kendall on there. Timo Dussel's on there already. Bill Kafer's awake, so that's a good thing. Bill helping out with the tournament committee. Ed Chen is in there. I believe. Actually, no. I'm actually not doing the Pat Johnson game. I'm sorry. I'm going to be doing the Sean Dixon versus Ed Chen game. Ed, who top 16 at Texas Mini World last year. Sean, good guy. He's usually a 8 or 9 seed in these events, so he usually has to go face a number 1 seed if he gets past into the first round. So it's going to be an exciting morning. I'm excited to stream with you guys. I'll be here hopefully all day. I only got a few hours of sleep, so lots of caffeine is going to be needed for me. And let's see. I'm not sure if. Let's reload on this really quick. Okay, here we go. Sean and Ed are ready, and here we go. Game one of the 2021 MPC. Looks like we have a Court versus OA matchup. Uh, Ed deciding to go with Court. He's got Battle Order First Strike. He's got Jabba's Haven. He's got Wipe Them Out, all of them. Sean starting out with Strike Planning. You got a lot of Guts coming here and a Brave Resistance, so he decided to go with Guts over Walkling. Looks like Ed already has Jabba the Hutt out on the table, and we are about to go into his game two. Or his turn, or into Sean's turn here. Okay, Ed drawing up. Draws his last card. Again, he's got Jabba at a battleground, so he can activate one with Wipe Them Out, all of them. And I'm assuming that Sean took at least one general with Strike Planning. Probably guessing he took two, General Leia and General Calrissian. Okay, both players have their grabbers out. I only got like 2 hours of sleep, so please be generous this morning. It's 4 a.m. over here on the West Coast. Okay, there's Rey's encampment. Oh, there's a Walkling. Okay, so he's going to deploy the Walkling. So first turn Walkling is pretty good. Sean deciding on what he wants to do here. Now, usually this matchup does come down to Jakku. Both players have a strong space presence in these decks. Okay, there goes Rose Tico back to the used pile. Sean's going to pull a resistant character with Brave Resistance. Interesting to see him pitch Rose back to the used pile. Now he's only going to be able to draw a character of ability 2 or less. Right off the top of my head, the biggest one is Chewie. Okay, he's going to grab Admiral U.O. Satora. Again, U.O. Satora is a character who is ability 2. Interesting to note, he's an admiral, but he doesn't have the pilot symbol, so he can't actually pilot anything. Okay, there's Leia's resistance transport going to Jakku. And that's going to allow him to get a free female character onto it. Yep, when deployed, may deploy a female resistance character aboard for free. Let's see who he's going to grab. There's Rey coming down for free. So he used 3 Force to get Rey out onto the table. Now he's going to take a card into his hand. I doubt it's going to be Rose, but it might be Rose. And Poe's going to come down as well. So right off the bat, Sean going hard to space with Rey and Poe. Now he's going to have to take 1 point of damage here to the court objective. So he's going to lose Where's Han from his use pile. Again, he did check a lot of what he was able to take a card out of his use pile with Rey. But again, he did use some force to get Poe onto the table. Interesting to note that he didn't go down with the Falcon. But we'll see what he wants to do here. And I want to say it would have cost him the same amount of force, because Poe's deploying -1 to Jakku. Ray would have came down for 2 at the hut, moved 1 over, and then took off for free. So he could have got uh, the Falcon up to Jakku and started draining for 2 there. But let's see what Ed wants to do here. Again, Ed's space in court, your space package is really good. You have Ellison the Hinthra, you have Woof, Ponda Baba. You've got a lot of good cards to run around in space with. I know a lot of the court decks have been running Guri and the Stinger to limit the Destiny up in space. Let's see if Ed went with that direction. Okay, he's going to use Jabba's Haven to get out Nal Hutta. It seems like he's only missing the Jabba's Sail Barge passenger deck for his activation. I don't know if he's running any more docking bays, but again, at least I know he's probably running the passenger deck, being that it is a pullable site with a Destiny 5 card. Glad to have you all on here this morning. It's going to be a very fun day. Okay, so here comes Jabba's Space Cruiser down to Nal Hutta with Lady Proxima. Interesting that he's not going to challenge the Leia's Resistance Transport yet. Zam Wessel coming down as well. So he does occupy two battlegrounds for Battle Order. But again, he's not going to challenge Sean in space yet. Okay, here he goes. He's going to draw. Probably going to draw up. He's got a 12-card hand. Or no, he's got a 12-card hand. Don't know if he's going to draw up. I mean, you got to be wary of the Grimtosh, but I don't think I've seen an OA play Grimtosh in forever. Okay, but he does save 2 cards in his force pile, being wary of the Grimtosh. Okay, here we go with Sean's turn 2. Let's see if Sean decides to drain. He would have to pay to drain here, but I don't think he will. I think right now he needs to get out Han at some point. That way he can satisfy for Guts and then turn off Ed's Scum Retrieval. And I want to say thank you to everybody who's turning in this morning. Yeah, Justin, I 100% agree with you. The fact that Ed went to Nal Hutta there instead of going straight to Jakku, Sean's really happy about that. Okay, here we go. Sean does not decide to drain. He goes straight to his deploy phase. He checks for a site. He does not get a Jakku location. Ed gets a free verify there. So today, during the stream, I'm going to be giving out 4 packs of what I call the Holo Theater Heroes. If you were watching Holo Theater a couple weeks ago, I announced a new prize instead of just giving out the normal foil Holo Theater with Jerry on it. So I'm going to be giving those out. We haven't actually formalized what's going to be in the packs. They are going to be Holo Theater themed, as well as you're going to get some really nice V cards and Also, some real cards from the collection and from my collection as well as the PC's collection, hopefully. Uh, but I will be giving those out randomly today. So if you want to see about getting a pack of the Holo Theater Heroes, stay tuned. I'll be giving out four. The rest of the streamers, I'll be so everybody else who's streaming today will also have a chance to give them out. So I'm excited to see everything once it's put together. Okay, there comes General Calrissian and Solo onto the Falcon. So now Guts is in effect, so if Ed decides to battle, he won't be able to retrieve any. Sean still has 7 cards in his force pile to work with. Okay, he's not going to come down to Tatooine again, so he's going to have to lose 1. There goes a Rebel Leadership off the use pile. Ed going to play Secret Plans. Let's see if Sean remembers to flip the Falcon here. Now the Falcon still does not have any immunity on that Falcon. Nope, he's going to take he's going to take off with the Falcon. And he's going to shuffle some of the characters around. I think he's going to put Rey onto the Falcon. Yep, Rey goes onto the Falcon. Poe's sitting on the Leia's Resistance Transport. Now, Ed's probably going to drain for 2 here. He did not find a site, Bill. And Calrissian goes on over to Leia's Transport. And we should see Sean draw some cards. Looks like Sean's going to save 1 card in his force pile. Okay, we now go to Ed's 3rd turn. He's going to drain. There goes a Dash and Rogue 12 off the top of Sean's reserve deck, as well as an All Wings combo. And if you're tuning in this morning, we do have the multi-Twitch live right now. It's myself, Lenny Rubin, over on his channel, and Kendall Holman on his channel. Kendall actually streaming his own game, so that's kind of exciting. Again, Kendall and James Martin agreed to Kendall streaming their game. Just checking, we have a CCT versus a No Idea. And it looks like we also have a Y4 Ops versus Court. I'm assuming Kendall is on the Court just because that's one of his favorite decks. And it looks like Paul McPherson is playing the CCT and Sam is playing No Idea. So again, Sam plays a lot of No Idea, so I'm not surprised by that in any sense. Okay, Ed looking for a docking bay or starship. Again, I really don't think he's going to try. I mean, with Proxima over at Nal Hutta, it's not a good spot for him to be. Now, he is draining for free, But it's really going to come down to this again. This match is going to come down to who can take over Jakku. Right now, Sean has put down a lot of guys at Jakku. Okay, here comes the Ellison Hinthra. Let's see if Sean has a response. Okay. Ed playing using the Ellis game text. Let's see who he gets out. It's either going to be Wolf or Ponda Baba. There's the Wolf. Ed has some good immunity on his ships. And same as Sean. Ed has immunity less than 5 on the Ellis. And Sean has less than 5 on the Leia's transport. And I believe the Falcon is less than 6. Because Solo and Rey are on there. Okay, here comes Ponda Baba. Ponda Baba just got a recent nerf. Oh, there's the Rebel Barrier. Yep. I thought Ponda Baba got a nerf, but still showing the +2 is there. I know Bill's in the chat. Bill, did Ponda Baba get nerfed or not? Okay, but again, there's the Rebel Barrier from Sean. It goes to his use pile. Balatik coming down. Balatik's pretty good in this matchup. I like that card from Ed. Once he moves that Jabba Space Cruiser over, Solo won't be able to add Destiny. And he won't be able to play a card from his lost pile. So, kind of nerfs Solo a little bit. But again, Sean is getting 2 Destiny up in space. He does have Admiral Satora in his hand. So the Destiny would be 2-2 for both players if Ed was to move the Space Cruiser over. Okay, Cad Bane coming down onto the outpost. And there's the Space Cruiser moving over to Jakku, so it's power 14-18 in favor of Sean. Again, both players are getting 2 Destiny. And here we go with Sean's turn. Let's see what Sean can do about that. Ed deciding to save 2 cards in his force pile. Well, he saved 1 and then he activated 1 with Wipe Them Out. Okay. Again, we are in Sean's control phase. Okay, here we go. Going into Sean's deploy. He again checks for a site. Did not find any. And we know that one of the cards in Sean's lost pile is a Rebel leadership. So let's see what if Sean has a second one. Okay, here comes Leia going down in front of Cad Bane. Haven't seen the second site yet, so Admiral Satora coming down as well. He'll add a Destiny with Leia and allow Sean to retrieve. Okay, there's the barrier on Satora. Okay, no response for Sean, so Satora is barriered. I don't know. I think Satora should have gone up into space, but that again, that's just me. You would want that extra destiny. Oh, there goes a Radis off the top of Sean's deck. He loses the Radis to the Court Ping. So no other characters from Sean. He is still not flipped, so he won't be able to do OA things. And he's going to just draw, so I don't know. I will say I do like the position that Ed is in right now. I think him getting out as many of the characters that he did up to space is what he wants to do. He still can put out like if he's playing Dengar in the punishing one, that would be big. If he's got Guri and the Stinger in his hand, that would also be big. But let's see what he's got to do. Again, Sean not finding his second sight and being able to flip kind of hurts him. Oh, that's a big card. Okay, we just saw that Ed used Lady Proxima to check out the top 3 cards of his deck, and we saw him take a Boba Fett Bounty Hunter into hand. There is a bounty hunter on the Jabba space cruiser, so Boba Fett would be able to add 2 destiny up in space. And again, Sean doesn't have an admiral there, so he can't limit. I mean, I do like the play of going with Leia to the ground, but I think Satora should have went up in space just to threaten Ed with a rebel leadership. Now, again, Sean could have some really good tricks in his hands. He does. I don't know if he plays Punch It or not, but he could play the. I think what's that card's name? I think I'm getting pretty good at this to react with after he reacts with Finn, and then add 2 destiny himself. Okay, he takes a card with Rey. So far, this is literally the first cup I've just made. Ed checking. Okay, there's another docking bay, so he's not going to get a ship this turn. So he did get another docking bay out. Oop. Sorry about that. Clicked on the wrong thing. Okay, there's the Boba Fett Bounty Hunter coming down. No response. Let's see if Sean responds, if he has a barrier here or something. Again, with no admirals up there, he can't limit Ed to destiny, so this could be bad news for Sean. Okay, it appears that Lenny Rubin is offline. Hopefully Lenny's doing okay. Again, Boba Fett coming down. So, again, right now, Ed is showing 4 destiny. 1 from ability, 1 from Proxima, and 2 from Boba Fett, because Zam Wessel's there. Vulcan Zazeri dropping down over to the pit. That would be a drain +1 there. I'm assuming it's just going to be Tazeri and then moving Jabba over. He's not really afraid of Sean going down to Tatooine. Okay, here we go. We have our first battle. Again, Solo is on the table, so Sean or Ed cannot retrieve. Okay, Finn coming down to the Falcon. So again, he reacts with Finn. No response from Ed. Destiny is still 4-2 in favor of Ed. Ponda Baba gets to add attrition. So again, this could be bad news bears for Sean. Okay, here we go into the Destiny. So no, I think I'm getting pretty good at this from Sean. He draws two. Okay, we have 2 4s. So it's going to be an 8. That's getting rid of 2 characters at least. Again, only 2 characters. Ooh, and a big 5. Okay, so we have 15 to Destiny, so that brings Ed up to 29. We're still going to wait on his Destiny to attrition. Let's see what Sean draws. He draws a 3. Becomes a 2 because of Wolf. And there's Rose for 4, so that's going to crack the immunity on those 2 ships. But again, Sean is going to lose multiple characters here. And the Destiny to attrition is only a 1, so 16 to attrition for Sean and 7 for Ed. I want to say that's going to be Calrissian and at least Finn. Calrissian, I believe, is a 7. Finn, I believe, is also a 7. So it's going to be, or no, he's only a 6. So again, there's going to be at least 3 characters there from Sean. Ed deciding on who he wants to lose. Boba Fett did his job, so he might be able to go away. Again, his bounty hunters are, yep. Ed deciding on Boba Fett, announcing it into the chat, so that way if he misclicks, he can do a revert. And I think if you're Sean, you're going to lose Calrissian, Finn, and maybe Rey. I think you lose Rey. But again, I don't know if he's going to. Sean again kicking himself. If he would have been able to flip, he would have only lost 2 characters. Okay, there goes Finn. Let's see who else he's got to lose. He's still got to lose 1 more. And there goes Rey. Again, you don't want to lose Poe because he's getting you a second Destiny. You don't want to lose Solo because you're taking away the scum retrieval because of Guts. So, I mean, I think that was the smart play by Sean. Again, both players are still getting 2 Destiny up there. Let's see if Ed decides to move that Cad Bane over to Raised Encampment. Yep, Cad Bane goes over to retreats over to Raised Encampment, and that's going to be the end of Ed's turn. I still believe that Sean is still in a decent position just because he could hopefully flip this turn. If he can flip and maybe get out a Rey and some other characters up in space, he could do some damage up there, but we'll see. Maybe he's playing a second copy of Finn. I don't know. So I will say I'm checking on. Again, Sean is a member of the Pittsburgh team, so I was able to check out one of his deck lists, and it does look like he is playing a second copy of Finn. So Okay, here we go. Drain of 1 at the outpost. There goes an I Can't Shake Him from hand. And I don't think Ed is worried about weapons in this match. Hey, Josh, I'm just calling him as I see him. Okay, we go to the deploy phase. Sean's going to check out his deck again. Again, no sights. Sean just cannot find his locations this game. That's what's kind of hurting him. Again, Ed gets a verify on that. Again, if you try to turn into Lenny Rubin, he's currently having some technical difficulties. Yeah, I believe this is the first time that Lenny is streaming, so go easy on him. Okay, there's the village for Sean. Going to try for the second time I've done that. Unpin that for now. Okay, Corn coming down to raise encampment. What the? Again, he does need a flip here. Okay, another ray coming down onto the Falcon. Again, Balatik is on the Space Cruiser, so no extra Destiny from Solo. Takes a card from his use pile into hand. Hopefully it's a card that will help him out here. Again, Ed has 3 cards in his force pile, so you got to think he's got some tricks. We could see a barrier, another barrier. He did barrier Satora a couple turns ago. He didn't play it on the Ray or the Corn Horn, so that's a little interesting. You could also see a Greedo, something like a React or something, to give him some extra forfeit. Okay, Sean's going to pass his deploy phase. He's going to lose a card. There goes Captain Hera Syndulla from off the top of the reserve deck. Again, still no flip from Sean. Okay, here we go. We have a battle at Raised Encampment. Cad Bane versus Corn Horn. Up, there's a Stunning Leader. So that's going to cancel that battle. Nope, Sean has the Quite a Mercenary, so that's going to cancel that Stunning Leader. So we still have this battle going on. Now, we could still see a flip from Sean this turn. One possible way of doing this is if he moves Leia over to the village and leaves Satora there, he could flip this turn. I do like the idea of him moving the Leia and then moving Satora up to space to give him an admiral up there. So if he has a leadership to limit the amount of destiny that Ed has. Okay, there goes the Quite Mercenary to the use pile. It did its job. We still have the battle going on. Let's see if Ed has a response or anything here. Now, he could play another Stunning Leader, but he doesn't have it yet. Destiny of 4 for Sean. So he does his power 9 to 4 currently. Let's see what Ed draws for Destiny here. Draws a 2. Cornhorn's immune. So that's a nice little turn of events for Sean. Now, that's just going to be Cad Bane for Ed, but Sean counting his blessings there with that too. Okay, there goes Cad Bane for Ed. And we continue on. Okay, here we go into Sean's move phase. Let's see what he wants to do here. Yep, there goes Leia. Leia's going to move over, so that does flip Sean. Yep, Satora goes up to the transport. And Sean's going to draw. So let's see. Now, just looking to remember my so because Sean did not move Cornhorn over, he does not control 2 battlegrounds, so he's still going to take 2 force to a force drain from Velkin to Zeri there. Okay, Proxima. There you go. Okay, Proxima reveals the top 3 cards of the Ed's reserve deck. There's no aliens, so he shuffles up his reserve deck. Sean did flip, actually. Sean had Satora. So Sean moved Leia after getting rid of Cad Bane over to the village. Satora was there. He flipped and then moved Satora up into space. Okay, there goes a Poe Dameron, and keep your eyes open from Sean's hand to the drain of 2 at the pit. Got another drain of 1 at the audience chamber. There goes a Rose Tico off the top of his reserve deck. Yeah, I was checking the 7th side to see if Sean could have reduced the drain to 1, that drain of 2 to 1 at the pit. But because he doesn't control a second battleground, he can't do that. Okay, here we go into Ed's deploy phase. He checks his deck with his objective to see if he has an independent starship or docking bay. That is a no for Ed. Yeah, for some reason, when you click on the objective, it goes to the 0 side first, and then you have to click on it again for it to go to the 7 side. Okay, ooh, there's another Boba Fett bounty hunter for Ed. Okay, Ray's going to take a card into Sean's hand. Let's see. Hopefully that card works. Good for Sean. Again, Satora is in space, so he could theoretically limit Ed to the amount of Destiny he has. Ed switching around his pilots and his passengers. Boba Fett now piloting Jabba's space cruiser. And Bossk coming down. Bossk is not a good card for Sean. Because there is a smuggler up there with Solo, Sean is not able to draw multiple destinies now. So Balatik is got rid of Solo's ability to play a card from his lost pile, and now Bossk is up there. That's not good for Sean. Now it's currently 2 destiny to 1 in favor of Ed, so Ed playing the Bossk in wisely, because Watch Your Steps being played a lot. Okay, Aurra Sing coming down to the outpost. Checking in some of the other matches right now. It looks like Wayne Cullen is up. Okay, here we go. We have another battle. Again, Ed's not going to be able to retrieve. There's Finn coming down onto the Falcon. No response from Ed, so Finn is still there. There's another Destiny to attrition from Ponda Baba. See if Sean has the Rebel leadership here. No Rebel leadership. Ooh, that has to hurt. So, because of Bosk, Sean would have had 3 Destiny, but Bosk says, oh, you're right. Yeah, there is no force there. I always forget about First Strike. Looks like Kendall and James Martin, their match ended. Checking really quick. Wayne Cullen is playing... check the racket really quick. Wayne looks like he is up right now against Casey Johnson. Wayne playing Y4 Ops versus Casey's Hunt Down. Yeah, that's a really bad turn of events there for Sean. 19-2 attrition. Oof. Now, Satora does add to the forfeit value. At same location, resistance characters are forfeit +1. So he can lose. So Finn only forfeits for 7, but he's still got 12 to lose. So that's not a good thing. Matt Less playing CRG versus Kevin Babs. So Matt Less playing Prophet and Kevin Babb playing Shadow Collective. Sam Tashima playing No Idea versus Paul McPherson's CCT. Jeremy Warner versus Timo Dussel. Jeremy playing Hitco. And Timo playing this Dark Deal. Yeah. So again, because this game's going to come down to basically who can take over Jakku, this is not looking good for Sean. Ed is flexing right now with Court, showing the power of this Court space fleet with just 2 ships. Ed deciding to keep Boba Fett on the table. So again, we have Rey and Poe only on the table. Now Bosk. Looks like Bosk was lost. Nope, he's still out there. So yeah, Ed didn't have to lose anything in that battle, and Sean had to peel 3 characters. So again, Ed currently sitting at 23 in Life Force. Sean has 16. I wouldn't say it's OP. You just gotta work with it. You gotta know how to play it. You gotta know what you're gonna be seeing. Bosk is really good because Watcher Step is popular. Multiple Boba Fett's really good. Proxima, good. I've seen a few different cards from the Court that I'm used to playing and seeing on Gemp from in Ed's deck, but again, it's Court. Like we've only seen 2 of his ships. We haven't seen a Zuckuss Misthunter. We haven't seen if he's playing the Dengar. We haven't seen if he's playing any of the other ships that you would see normally in Court. Okay. Sean playing I Think I Can Handle Myself to add to the drain. He is going to drain for 2 at the village with Leia. Ed deciding to grab that. Let's see what Ed loses here. There goes the Stinger. So, yeah, he doesn't need Guri and the Stinger in this matchup. And he loses Nagak Warbeast. Pretty good card against mains. Here we go into Sean's turn. Okay, there's the Starship Graveyard from his hand. Okay, there's a blue 11 going down in front of Ara Singh. It is an enclosed vehicle, so she can't fire upon it. And Solo coming down onto it as the pilot. So Solo is still back in the game. Rose coming down, so he can start now retrieving, hopefully. I think he's gonna give up Jakku here and move over to now Hutta. And then play his ultimatum shield. I think that's the best bet for Sean. And but let's see what he wants to do. And he drops BB-8 with Rose. Just like in episode 8. Okay, we go past his deploy phase. He's out of his deploy phase. He has to lose another card to the court objective. Again, that's 5 turns of him getting pinged by the objective. That hurts. I'm a little surprised he did not decide to go to the pit and try and battle Velkin Tazeri. I mean, but at the same time, that's just screaming trap. Chris Hall is on. Chris, why are you up so early? Okay, here we go. We have a battle. Sean does is going to pay 1 to retrieve 1 with Leia. Ed has the imbalance combo, so he's going to lose 1. So he's going to lose the it's a hit. So he pays 1 for nothing. Okay, Sean is flipped, so he could actually reduce the battle destiny here. Aurra Sing does not have any immunity, so she probably will go to the lost pile. Ed checking his destinies with the fanfare shield. Checking up on some of the other games right now. Looks like James and Kendall are on game 2. James is playing Shadow Collective. Kendall is playing Throne Remains. No real surprise from Kendall. Okay, here we go. Destiny 4 for Sean. And a 2. And now again, he can actually reduce this, so it's going to be a 0. So, however, Ed's not going to take any overflow because of his objective. Okay, Leia moves over to join Rose and BB-8. Now I'm thinking if you're Sean, you land the Falcon to the outpost and then you move the transport. And that's what he's going to do. It's almost like he's watching me. Or he's reading my mind, one of the two. Probably the latter. Okay, laser resistant transport moves over to now Hutta. Sean doesn't have any force saved, so he's not going to play a barrier here. Okay, here we go with Ed's next turn. Ed's going to activate. Activate 6. There's the ultimatum shield from Sean. So Now, again, Sean does control 2 Jakku Battlegrounds, so he can reduce the drain of 1, or the drain of 2 at the pit to 1. However, you can't reduce the drain of Jakku anymore. No, it has not happened yet, Chris. Okay, Proxima's he's gonna use Proxima to reveal the top 3 cards. There is no alien in the top 3 cards, so he's gonna have to work with what he's got in his hand. Here we go, drain of 3 at Jakku. Again, ultimatum is on the table, so it will be a drain of 2. So all in together, Sean should lose 4 cards during the control phase here. Yeah, Zuckuss could be a huge problem here. There goes 2 barriers off the top of the deck. Oof. Drain of 2 at the pit. Let's see if Sean reduces it. Yep, he's going to reduce it. There goes Rogue 1 off the top of his deck. And another drain of 1 at the audience chamber. There goes a keep your eyes open from Sean's hand. And it looks like Wayne and Casey Johnson are on game 2 of their match. Wayne is playing a Set Your Course for Alderaan, whereas Casey is playing Prophet. Sean saying he forgot to flip the Falcon. Oh no. And of course, he's blaming me. Why is he blaming me? You know what? I'm not going to blame Sean. I'm going to blame the fact that it's really early. So. But he did say play on. So, again, that is a miss flip on his part. Ed would have been in the right to reject a refert from Sean, but it is what it is. Aphra coming down. Aphra going to get a droid back. Interesting enough, no secret plans or no aim high shield from Sean. Even though Solo's on the table and you turned off his guts or his scum retrieval, you still want the aim high shield because Jabba's Haven's on the table. So no droids in the lost pile. So Boba Fett Bounty Hunter gets moved up to the top. Okay, Daro's going to get a droid. So he grabs. There's a 4-LOM with concussion rifle. That's going to take away Corran Horn's immunity. And he's going to use Jabba's Haven to take Aurra Sing with her gun back into hand. And there's Aurra Sing coming down to the encampment. This could be really bad. Now, again, Sean only has 2 cards in his hand. Hopefully one of them is a Hojix. And P-59 comes down as well. Ed just going down with everything in front of that little Corran Horn. Okay, here we go. Ed's going to initiate a battle. Again, he can't retrieve anything. 4-LOM's going to shoot Corran Horn. There goes his game text. Uh, he's got no force save to the Hojic, so this is game. Sean's going to use Solo's game text to play a card. Yep. Sean realizing Balatik is out, so no. Okay, there goes Aura saying she's going to shoot at Corn Horn. That's going to be a miss. P59 is going to shoot at Corn Horn. That's going to hit. P59 just shot Corn Horn, so Sean's going to have to lose 2, and he's going to have to lose the Corn Horn here. Cool little animation there. There goes Menace Phase at the top. And there goes the Hojics. It's okay. There's the Battle Destiny becomes a tooth, so that's 17-2 for Sean. Sean currently down by 15. And Sean draws a 2. So Sean is going to have to lose 13. So it's going to be Corn Horn and 8. There goes the row for Ed, and again Corn Horn and 8 for Sean. Loses Jedi Levitation. And there goes Vice Admiral Holdo, Premier Scan, quite a mercenary, Wedge Antilles, Rebel Flight Suit, and Rogue 3, and a Lore Santeca. Oof. Big damage from Ed. Again, looks like Ed is going to take game 1. He is going to lose some force here, though. Now, he can follow that Leia's Resistance transport over, but nope, he's going to shuttle Boba Fett down. Okay, interesting little side note here. Ed tries to shuttle Boba Fett down to the Starship Graveyard, not realizing it's 2 force due to the game text. So Ed attempts to revert. Sean allows it. And we go back on. I think Ed just moves over in front of Nal Hutta and chases the transport. Yeah, I agree. It's. I mean, there is a reason because. So the reason you could have not allowed it, and then Boba Fett would have been stuck there. But okay, he's gonna lose. He's gonna land the Ellison Hinthra. Then comes Bosk, Ponda Baba, and Woof. Well, no, I'm saying so. If you don't allow that revert, he only had 2 cards left. So you're not going to pay the upkeep for Boba Fett. Boba Fett's going to go out of play for 1, and 2. Yeah, I mean you can still land, but the problem you can still do what he just did, but now Boba Fett's off the table. And Jakku doesn't look as bad. But again, it is a simple mistake. I mean, I forget the fact that it costs you 1 extra to deploy and move there all the time. So, okay, Sean's gonna use his Walkling to retrieve 1. Again, Ed has 22 in life force. Sean has 5. It's gonna bring him up to 6. So. Again, Ed does still have his Jabba's Haven retrieval. Okay, Rose is going to retrieve. Now he's going to be able. Sean is going to drain for 2 in this turn, 1 at the outpost and 1 at Nal Hutta. Yeah, in a match play game, you got to think of those little things like every force matters. So, but I mean, Sean's a nice guy, and he would allow it. It depends on, for me, it depends on the revert. Like if it's clicking on the wrong card when you want to lose a card during a battle, but versus something like that, I know Bastion would not allow it. Okay, so there's the drain of 1 at Nal Hutta. There's a drain of 1 at the outpost. And the BB-8 damage. Again, Sean lost 2 cards, or Ed lost 2 cards from his hand. He lost 1 off the top of his reserve deck, bringing him to 21. Okay, we go from the deploy phase into the battle phase. There goes a Padme from Sean's hand. There's the flip of the Falcon. And Blue 11 just slides on over to the village. Well, the mistake was Ed forgot about the game text on the Starship Graveyard. Unless you occupy your non-scavenger characters deploy and move to here for +1 force. So. Okay, and Leia's sitting by herself in front of Bossk, Ponda Baba, and Wolf. Again, Sean has no cards in his force pile. He's got no cards in his hand. Now, he does control 2 Jakku sites, so he can reduce the drain at the pit to 1, but he is going to lose to 2 at the encampment, 2 at Jakku, and then another 1 at the audience chamber. So he's losing 6 this turn. And that's all he's got. So he's going to have 1 card left in his life force. And I don't believe Ed can retrieve any, so it looks like Ed's going to win this game by 21. There. Okay, so we have an Ellis Hellerot. We're gonna have all of those characters at the encampment move all the way over to the Starship Graveyard. That's a beatdown if there ever was one. And here we go. Again, Ed is going to initiate. He's not going to be able to retrieve any. Okay, he's going to cancel Leia's game text. and shoot with P59. So if he hits P59, the game's over. I mean, the game's over regardless, but yep, he hits P59, or he hits Leia, so that's going to be 2 force lost, and that is going to be game 1. So Ed is going to win game 1. He wins game 1 22 in life force, and to Sean has 39. To Ed's 11. So it looks like the players are going to take 5. While they take 5, we'll go check out some of the other games that are going on right now while we wait. Okay, let's leave this room and let's go check on some other games. Again, let's check on the CRG versus Kevin game. This is an interesting one. Shadow Collective versus Prophet. Again, Matt played Prophet in the GEMP PC. Had some good success with it.